Yo, it's Trent. So, like I said yesterday, I'm gonna do the fight story today. And this was probably, I'd say 4 years ago? 5? Yeah, 5 years ago. So I was, I'd say 13 or 14, right? Most likely 14. And the story that I told yesterday about me drinking with that kid who was a couple years older, he was involved in it, right? He was one of the fighters. And that shit was intense cuz it was just a normal day, and we were hanging out with like the little group we had, and usually we just rode bikes and you know, listened to music, played football. That was about it. Well, today was a little different because we heard news that there was some beef going on between the two older kids we knew. Both these kids are like a year, 2 years older than us, you know? So we're like, damn, we want to see this. And I'd seen people like argue and push each other, but I hadn't seen like full violence or anything yet, you know? And it just gets good. Just wait. So we get there, and there's about 6 to 7 kids on one side, and then this dude and his girlfriend. And this dude is not backing down, the one with his girlfriend. He's yelling at this one kid, specifically, the one that I was drinking with. He's yelling at him. He's like, you pussy bitch. You know, they're yelling back and forth, whatever, insulting each other. And everybody's arguing except the girlfriend. The girlfriend of the one dude is just trying to keep everybody calm because, as she could see, as everyone else could see, if things go sideways, this is like an 8 or 9v1. Like, there's a lot of kids getting there. Like, a lot of kids beating one kid's ass if it goes sideways, you know? Or that's what it seemed like. So they're standing there, they're arguing for about 5-10 minutes, and I'm just talking with my friends. Like, we're just kind of sitting there, but we're also watching, you know, to see if anything happens. And we were kind of friends with both of them, so it's not like we had to pick a side or anything, or had to fight or anything like that. We were just watching, literally. It was the park we hung out at, you know? And so the two kids, or the one kid with his girlfriend's like, okay, I'll box just the one kid, you know, because they were beefing or whatever, and I'm sure he didn't want to get jumped. He was worried about that, so they start arguing, you know. Gets up in his face, and this kid that's alone just started going off. He just started throwing these punches, you know. These big overhand rights, just pushing, punching, and he was connecting with a few kids, you know. And I remember then it stopped for a second, and then he started fighting the one dude's friend, and they were about the same size, because the one kid that was alone is kind of way bigger, and the kid I was drinking with is, he's shorter, but he's more built, you know, like he's been lifting weights. But the one kid who was alone, was fighting this other dude's friend, and they were both really tall. That's all that is important, or I remember from there. And they evenly punched each other in the face like 3 or 4 times, like good ones too, just like, you know, just going at it. And the girlfriend kept running in, trying to break everything up, and she'd get pushed off, not like punched or pushed hard, you know, but just like shoved away. She's yelling, she's like, stop fighting. Well, then, you know, they kind of jumped him for a second, for like not 30, that's a long time in a fight, like 10-15 seconds. Everybody kind of just pushed that kid around, kicked him, punched him, but he didn't fall. He stayed standing, you know? He was a big kid, so he stayed up. And then they kind of backed away, and it was just the two kids again, the two main kids that I both know. And so, picture this. The really tall kid alone is on the left side, right? Probably 6 or 7 steps away from each other. And the shorter, more built kid's on the right. He runs a full sprint in the air, puts his left foot up for maybe like a foot or two in the air, stomps it down with his right foot, fucking SPARTA boot kicks him right in the chest. It was the most beautiful thing to this day. I've seen a lot of fights. I've been in a couple. I've been in altercation. This is single-handedly the most beautiful fight move I've ever seen executed. I've seen someone leg kick someone and make them fall. That was good, but this was a Sparta kick to the chest, like straight out of the movie 300, you know, like boom. Like he, boom, kicked him in the chest. The kid went flying and fell for the first time. And, you know, he ran over and punched him a few times, you know, like on the ground. And the girlfriend ran over and broke it off. And then it was just more arguing. So that was definitely the fight ender. Not like a knockout blow or anything, but this kid was like almost a foot taller than him, and he Sparta kicked him in the chest and sent him flying. That's badass. You know what I mean? That's impressive. So after that, everybody's like, oh my God, holy shit, what the fuck? You know, like, oh, you know, that type of thing. Everybody's just going nuts. And someone had the great idea, not in my group or anybody I knew, but someone thought, you know what? Let's blow off some fireworks. So first of all, we were at a public-ass park with 2 streets on either side. So the chances of cops already were good, you know what I mean, from a bunch of kids fighting and people seeing, and it's by backyards. Like, it's just, it's all surrounded by houses, apartments, and streets. Like, there's no hiding. It's in plain sight, and it was the middle of the day, and it was summer. So these random kids start blowing off fireworks, which doesn't help add to the mix, and these cops start to come. And I'm with one of my friends. We kind of all split off, and I was with just one of my friends instead of the group. And we just walked down the street and walked away and talked about it, you know. But to this day, I will never get over how it just the size factor doesn't even matter, I guess. Just the fact that in the middle of a fight, he thought, I'm going to run 5 steps forward and fucking UFC kick this dude in the chest. Like, it was so beautiful. I can't get over it. It was good. But I'm glad that you guys are here if you're still here. I hope everyone's having a good day. And, yeah, I'll have more stories coming. I'm trying to think what I'll do tomorrow. Usually I just figure it out unless someone's looking forward to something like today. So, I don't know. We'll see. So check it out tomorrow. I'll post more gaming videos today if anything happens. And have a good day.